What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I know that I'm doing a much earlier live than usual, so I didn't expect to see, a whole lot of people, but that's okay. But I will go ahead and say hi to everyone. Yo, what's up? Kristen and Blind. PJ, how are you today? Judy, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you being here. Hi, Wendy, how are you? Kim K, good to see you. Hey, Ranch Boss. So, how's everyone's Friday going so far? I know I slept in today, so I feel like my day has already flown by, which is the only downside of sleeping in, but I did sleep really well, so there's that. But yeah, how are you guys? How's y'all's day going, and what is y'all's plans for the weekend? I'm just going to give a few more minutes for people to come in. And today I just have a couple of cases that I have an update on one of them. And then there's three more that I wanted to highlight that had come to my attention. And then maybe if I have time, um, I'll talk a little bit about the Maui fire situation because, hey, Killshot, I was just about to say thanks to Killshot for bringing it actually, at least to my attention. Like, I hadn't heard anything about it at the time that he first brought it out. And so just every day that goes by and the videos and the more footage that's coming out, the more people that are speaking up about it, the whole situation is sickening, it's disturbing, and I feel like we all should be talking about it. So yeah, that's something, it's really been bugging me. Gotcha, Killshot. Understand. Drive safe. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to update everybody on, I don't know if maybe you had seen it, but we had talked about this case a while back. It was the Camp Pendleton with the teen that was found on the barracks. And so there has been a U.S. Marine that has been charged with SA weeks after a missing teen was found in Camp Pendleton barracks. So this was as of August 17th. So a U.S. Marine at California's Camp Pendleton has been charged with SA weeks after a missing 14-year-old was discovered in the military base's barracks, according to a charging document. I have not been able to get that document. I don't know if it's even available. It is military, so probably a little bit harder to get a hold to, but the Marine, whose name has not been publicly released, is charged with 3 counts of SA of a child and 2 counts of breach of restriction, according to a redacted charge sheet provided to CNN by 1st Marine Logistics Group spokesperson Captain Charles Palmer. So, though the charge sheet does not identify the victim or the Marine, Palmer provided the charging document in response to a CNN inquiry about charges related to the case of the missing teen. So it was around June 27th, and he was accused of SAing her on or about that date and leaving the Pendleton base, which they were not authorized to do. The 14-year-old girl was discovered in the base's barracks on the 28th, just over 2 weeks after San Diego officials say her grandmother reported her missing on June 13th. So she was missing for 2 weeks, and she was discovered in this guy's barracks. We don't know his name. His identity is being withheld, but it's truly disgusting. And I've heard people in chat when I brought this up of the things that go on at military bases, and it's disgusting. After she was found, a Marine was questioned, and I remember bringing that update to you guys. I remember he was questioned and he was released, and so it says pending further investigation. A preliminary hearing on the charges will be held on Thursday. So that likely already happened. So I have to look for another update on that. But he was also facing separate charges in an earlier case in which they are charged with SA of a minor and violating liberty restriction, the logistics group said on Saturday. So that was the outcome of this, because we were wondering, what the deal was. Did she run away with him or whatever? And we still don't know the exact details. He could have lured her there. They could have had some kind of relationship. I don't know. All I know is what is presented in front of me, and he is being charged with SA of a 14-year-old. So that's the update on the Camp Pendleton case that I had covered a while back. Okay, let me try to catch up in chat because I know how this can go. Oh, Vaughn, don't do not start that. I'm just kidding. I know it's gonna happen. We always have fun with Mike. It's crazy hot here planning for incoming annual family dove hunt, 20 to 25 people. Oh, that's nice for those that hunt. I have family members that enjoy hunting, friends. That sounds fun, but it is really freaking crazy hot. And yeah, I can't even be outside for very long. Oh God, what did I miss? I think you and Mike need to talk. Right? His poor ribs are not going to heal. Hi, Mom First. Thank you for joining. Hi, really? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Hi, Rapper. All I ask is that you be respectful in my chat. I appreciate that. Hey, Crime and Crochet. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, so that was the update with the Camp Pendleton case that I talked to you guys about a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to share this one now. This one was a little wild, and I can't remember who sent it to me. It might have been Kristen. I'm not sure. But I was just like, okay. I'm trying to reach my laptop so I can add. Oh, I know. That's the most aggravating thing, is being on your phone and not being able to like tag the people how it works on your laptop. Yeah, it's annoying. Hey, Melissa. Thank you for stopping by. I miss you guys. I miss chatting with you all. Hello, Mr. Hat, the name everyone has now brought to my attention. Everyone's been using. Why won't it let me highlight? What the heck? Okay, my little highlighter tool is tripping. But welcome in. This crazy, crazy people. Oh, yeah. And it's just getting even crazier. Like, it's to the point where nothing surprises us anymore. And that's how you know that it's just truly disturbing. Okay. Let me go ahead and get so Kristen, Crime and Crochet, PJ, Bind, anybody who has a channel, go ahead and type in link drop so you can have your channel dropped. And then I'm going to drop the ones of those who are not here so we can, you guys go check out their channels. They're putting out amazing content, especially for the Maui fire situation. Go and check out Killshot's last 2 or 3 lives. He's been covering a lot of it and showing a lot of the truth of what's going on with the Maui situation. I'm trying to think. Oh, and also Muse News has been covering it also. I do know that it is becoming really hard for her to even talk about because, Muse has been through something similar. And yeah, I'm just sending prayers, love, and light to Muse because I was on her channel at 3 o'clock this morning when she was talking about it. And it's starting to really bother a lot of people with the Maui fire situation because the more truth that comes out, it's just more reality that's just right. Like Killshot said, it's happening right in front of our faces. And it's very disturbing. Hey, Far, how are you? Y'all need sleep? I got plenty of sleep, PJ. Maybe they do. Shoot, sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read this insane article. So, a Houston woman is charged with killing her landlord, hiding the body, and collecting rent from other tenants. So, Pamela Ann Merritt is charged with murder of landlord Colin Kardaki after body found under the stairs. That video has nothing to do with the article, by the way. So a Texas woman who claimed that her missing Houston landlord faked his death and ran away to Africa 2 years ago has been arrested on murder and theft charges. Pamela, 43, allegedly killed Colin Kardaki, 78, confessed to friends, hid the body under stairs for months and told police when they showed up it belonged to a dead dog, according to court documents. People reported that Kardaki missing in February of 2021 after a winter storm and deep freeze gripped the city and caused widespread power outages. The arrest comes after the discovery of the missing man's body led a detective, to review the case and stitch together a series of suspicious events. So he was reported missing. She went along with it and was telling everyone he had faked his death and ran away to Africa. I mean, like this, you can't make this stuff up. So on February 23rd of 2021, Joe Guy, a tenant of Kardaki's, told police that he came home from a long trip and found Kardaki gone and Merritt inside and refusing to leave. This is Pamela Merritt, who was arrested in connection with the stabbing death of her landlord, Colin Kardaki. I'm going to put a trigger warning. But yeah, like this is insane. Like, what is the purpose of? And then you hide his body under the stairs, and what? Oh, good, Cron Crochet, awesome. It's a lot easier that way. Yeah. So he told me that he asked where Mr. Collin, the landlord, was, and the defendant replied that he was dead and that she killed him. A Houston detective wrote in the criminal complaint after reviewing body cam footage from the 2021 missing person report and re-interviewing the witness. At the time, police took Merritt to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation, according to court filings. But by October of 2021, she was back in the building and he had still not been found. Another tenant, Tabitha Pope, called police to support a suspicious discovery. Large pools and drops of blood in the building's upper floors, a knife in the mailbox, and a bin with blood in it in a crawl space. This is just insane to me. Like, can you imagine living in this apartment complex or whatever, and you're finding these things and you're having to report on these things, and then it turns out that this woman killed her landlord? Yeah, and there's two very different pictures. So her mugshot looks horrible. I mean, just I'm not trying to shame anyone, but you can tell the difference. I mean, there's so many mugshots that you can tell like that they're on something, they're under the influence of something, in my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. Pope had recently moved into the building and told police she was paying rent to Merritt and her boyfriend, Michael Brown, who has been charged with evidence tampering. Okay, let me read that again. So this tenant that reported the blood had moved into the building and she was paying rent to Pamela Merritt. Okay, and Pamela's boyfriend, Michael Brown, who has been charged with evidence tampering. Okay, so we have another person that comes into play. So, according to Pope, Merritt and Brown told her conflicting stories about the building's owner. One was that he was missing, and the other was that he died in the hospital. Suspicions Suspicious of their claims, Pope in December apparently tricked them into revealing the location of Kordaki's body by saying the discovery of his remains would keep the house out of foreclosure, according to court documents. 2 days later, on the afternoon of December 5th, Michael Brown and the defendants started talking loudly about a dead dog under the back stairs. Pope called police, who arrived to find Kordaki's decomposing remains and Merritt and Brown allegedly painting over a bloodstained wall on the second floor. Police interviewed both of them and Merritt said the remains belonged to a dead dog, according to the complaint. She also allegedly told detectives that she thought Kordaki faked his death and went to Africa. Furthermore, she allegedly claimed the blood around the house was from rotten meat that she cleaned out of a refrigerator. That is right. For 2 years, she kept collecting rank. I think it's going to get into it because the date on here. Let's see. Yeah, this is August 22nd. So that's disturbing. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, had someone talking to me. But yeah. So.
Oh yeah, this doesn't belong to me.
Oh, we did that right there. Thank you. Um. Okay, so according to the complaint, Brown told detectives that he last saw Kordaki in February of 2021 with a stab wound to his stomach, but thought that he just left and probably went to the hospital. An autopsy determined that Kordaki had been stabbed multiple times. Based on phone records and other witness statements, police believe he was likely unalived on February 15th of 2021. Police arrested Brown in March and filed charges against Merritt on May 30th, but she remained on the run until Friday when authorities captured her without incident. She is currently being held at the Harris County Jail on $500,000 bond. So yeah, from 2021 till March and May of this year, she was collecting rent. She and her boyfriend, it says that he was charged in tampering with evidence. So obviously he was involved in some kind of way too. Very sick, very disturbing. Okay. So on this case, this was August 23rd. This is a Texas man that is arrested after a Ohio mom of two was kidnapped and then found shot dead in Tennessee. So this started off as a kidnapping and then ended up in tragedy. Is anybody still here? Because I can cover these cases another time. I just want to make sure that you people are here because like these are the cases that catch my attention. These are the cases that I read about, and I'm just like, what in the world is wrong with people? You know, um, where was his family? I wonder. Right, that's what I was saying. And see, when I get these cases, like I I get them and I read the highlights and I go through and you know a lot of times, like, yeah, I'll look for updates and how their court cases and filings are going. And then every now and then I'll do like a dive into kind of like the background, like has his family come forward and stuff. I don't really deep dive cases anymore because I just want to bring awareness to things, and deep diving and stalking their Facebooks and all of that stuff is just, if it's a Facebook group regarding a missing person, that's different. But like, yeah, I don't know. If I could find an article about his family, that would be awesome because you're right. Like, where was his family? It's a very good question. Okay, no worries, y'all. I mean, there'll be people on the replay crew. Like I said, I knew I was going live a little earlier than normal, and that's okay. So this is the victim. She was a mom of two who was kidnapped, and this guy is from Texas. He was arrested, and this mom was from Ohio. So it was in connection with the August 18th kidnapping and murder of a Cincinnati mother of two. So she went missing on August 18th. Lance Miller, who is 32, is facing charges of felony evading, abuse of a corpse, and being a fugitive from justice out of Tennessee, on top of murder and kidnapping charges out of Ohio in connection with 36-year-old Caitlin Lynch's death. She was a very loving and caring mother, and what makes it so tragic is that these two little girls are going to have to go on without her. Lynch's father, Dan Lynch, told Fox News Digital. She was a very determined girl. She knew what she wanted and went after things in her own way. The elder Lynch said his daughter had a degree in criminal justice and was interested in police work and the criminal justice system in general. He believes she was working as a paralegal at the time of her death. That's so sad. She had her whole future ahead of her, and this monster took her future, took her kid's mother. Like, these are the things that just. Ugh. I'm not sure, rapper, but I'm just here to talk about what happened on these cases. So, detectives told Lynch's family that the 36-year-old met Miller online and described their dating situation as new. Okay, so they did meet online. Um, See, and that's why when me and PJ do, me, PJ, Blind, and Kristen, I think, supposed to be doing a collab live soon on the dangers of online dating and the dangers of like the apps that our children use and teens use. And like, it's just these days you have to be very careful. So they met online, and it was a fairly new relationship. About 3 weeks prior to the murder, Miller apparently drove to Cincinnati from Texas to move in with Caitlin, her father said. So there you go. You know, it was a fairly new relationship, and it doesn't say when they started talking, but I mean, 3 weeks before he moves to Ohio, he's moving in with her. That is what I mean about like having to be extremely careful with those you meet online, this online dating stuff. Like, you don't know who you're really dealing with. Like, you really don't. In a statement shared on a GoFundMe page for Lynch titled "In Loving Memory of Caitlin," her family said they are in complete disbelief that this has happened to our Caitlin. Anyone who knew Caitlin knew how much she loved being a mom to her two beautiful daughters and how she was always willing to lend a hand. Excuse me, I have my coffee and I'm trying to. She was funny, beautiful, determined, and she will be deeply missed by all. The GoFundMe also says Lynch knew Miller, who allegedly shot her in the vehicle after the pair got in an argument and left her dying in the passenger seat before he took off and led police on a multi-state pursuit. Wow. So that is insane. Hi, MJ. Happy Friday. Oh, you're fine, PJ. So to put Caitlin's, it's Caitlin, right? Caitlin. Yeah, it's just a typo right here. So to put her body in the passenger seat and drive it to Tennessee, I mean, that's just one sick puppy, Dan Lynch said. Cincinnati police initially responded to reports of a shooting on the 2800 block of Temple Avenue and determined through their investigation that Miller had possibly kidnapped Caitlin after shooting her and fled the state. On August 19th, Tennessee authorities issued a be on the lookout BOLO alert and received information that Miller was traveling west through the state, according to the Wilson County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Jesse Parody made contact with Miller as he was driving and activated his emergency lights, at which point the vehicle sped off at a high rate of speed. So the pursuit ensued through Wilson County, and authorities were eventually able to stop him in Cheatham County after deputies spiked his tires. Upon taking the driver into custody, who was identified as Lance Miller, there was a deceased female also present in the vehicle. Miller was out on bond in Oklahoma after allegedly leading police on a chase on July 31st. So see, that's what I mean. She probably had no idea that this guy was out on bond, and he had already been involved in a police chase in July. They charged him with open container violations, DUI, endangerment while eluding police, and unauthorized use of a vehicle. So where is the murder charge? But yeah, these are the monsters that do these crazy things. Far, how are you today? Oh yeah, I forget that it's Saturday for you. So it's early morning for you. Hi, Jim. Good to see you. Yeah, I hope the job is going well for you, Jim, and I hope that you have a great shift. Yeah, 4 is and it is 5:30 my time in the afternoon. Hi, Michael. How are you today? Close out some tabs. So this one is about I'm going to go ahead and put a trigger warning in chat. Jim, thank you for stopping by. I love you, and I hope that you have a great work shift. Hope that it's not too draining on you and that you get plenty of rest and all that good stuff. Okay, so this one is a 5-year-old who was killed in a drive-by shooting between teens who were fighting over a girl. I mean, like, just the headline alone is so sad. You have teens that were fighting over a girl, and in the midst of all that, you have a 5-year-old, an innocent 5-year-old, who gets killed because of it. So 4 New Mexico teenagers have been charged after a young girl was killed in her sleep during a drive-by shooting, authorities announced on Monday. By the way, this article, I have a date on somewhere. It's fairly recent. So a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old were taken into custody on murder and other charges for allegedly stealing 2 Kia Souls and opening fire at the Vista del Sol mobile home park on August 13th, unintentionally striking 5-year-old Galilea Samaniego. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to mess it up. But Galileo. The Albuquerque Police Department said at a so she was. That is so sad. Like, she got caught in the crossfires of this. Galileo Samaniego. I don't want to say her name wrong, but she's adorable, and these things should not be happening to our children. You have teens that are fighting over a girl, and you have an innocent 5-year-old who got caught up in it and lost her life. Authorities are still searching for two brothers, ages 17 and 15, who also face charges for their alleged involvement. According to police, Galilea was sleeping overnight in a mobile home with her siblings and other children. The home belongs to a woman living there with her two teenage grandsons who are not related to Galilea. And one of them was the intended target of the drive-by. Wow. So inside the home was one of the woman's grandsons, and that was the intended target. But why do these teenagers have these guns? Why are they walking around with guns? Why are they targeting to shoot another person inside of anybody's home? Like, that is what's wrong with this world. So a bullet pierced the mobile home and hit her in the head. She was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced unalive. Following the shooting, authorities released surveillance footage of the two Kia Souls that they said were present during the shooting. So these don't really show, it's not very good pictures of them, but in a statement, Albuquerque police said the teens were involved in a dispute over a girl that went back years to when they were in middle school. The feud escalated in recent months, allegedly resulting in drive-by shootings between the two teens and several friends. So you have some beef from back in middle school, and you're bringing it to this mobile home park, and an innocent 5-year-old girl lost her life because you can't take anger management problems. You can't talk your problems out with someone. You can't learn how to just be a kind and nice human. You have to retaliate, and you have to act out with weapons and violence. Like, I don't understand it. Yes, rest in peace for sure. Yeah, MJ, it's very frustrating. I get so frustrated reading about this. And yeah, but if you've seen recently, like even Micah, Lee True Crime, she's been covering cases where these children are in homes where there's guns readily available, easily accessible, not in a safe. Like, these kids are able to get weapons, sadly, way too easy. People need to get back to using their voices to deal with their problems. Exactly. What age is middle school children? My godchild is in middle school, so like 12 to what, 14, 15, around here. Yeah, something like that. 11 to 14. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, see, here it's different. It's like fifth through, is it fifth through eighth? It might be the same. So yeah, like 11 to 14. But yeah, I can't understand it either. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the feud escalated in recent months, allegedly resulting in drive-by shootings. According to police, detectives linked bullet casings from the Vista del Sol shooting to an incident in November of 2022 that involved several teens, including two of the suspects in Galilea's killing. Authorities are not sure how the teenagers allegedly obtained firearms. Of course, they're not going to know. 4 minutes after the Vista del Sol incident, the teens who police said were driving the Kia Souls allegedly took part in another drive-by shooting at a separate home, with surveillance footage capturing the vehicles near the scene. So they did this first shooting, and then they went on to do another drive-by shooting. According to authorities, the families inside that residence were uninjured. However, they told police that this was not the first attack that they had seen. The homeowner, his wife, and 4-year-old son at that home escaped injury in that shooting, which was the second drive-by they experienced in recent weeks. A teen residing at the mobile home where Galilea was shot told officers that two of his friends lived at the second drive-by location, adding that they were involved in the dispute with the 17-year-old who remains at large. So that's something that I need to look into, is if they ever track down this 17-year-old. Both Kia Souls were abandoned after the shootings, and one of them was set on fire. Just wow. The 14 suspects are charged with an open count of murder, conspiracy, shooting at a dwelling or occupied building, and shooting at or from a motor vehicle, and unlawful taking of a motor vehicle. The New Mexico law offices of the public defender representing the two teens in custody did not immediately respond. Of course not. There is a GoFundMe campaign raising money for her burial service. The girl's mother said the family is broken, adding that she never thought my little baby would die this way. Those words just break my heart. I cannot imagine this much violence and stuff going around you, and your child is sleeping inside their home where they're supposed to feel safe, and then something like this happens, all behind something that happened years ago in middle school. Like, that makes me so upset. So this is the wow, and she hasn't gotten hardly any donations. I'm going to drop the link, not expecting anyone to donate. If you can, that is great. If you can't, I know that not everyone can. But at the least, if you have socials, please share her GoFundMe, because they have a $15,000 goal and they've only reached 1,755. Oh, I don't want to read. It just basically says what happened to her. But yeah, this is the GoFundMe. Okay. Sorry about that. Hi, leopard print. Oh, that's weird for. I wonder why it was doing that for you. Right. Nobody expects their baby to pass that way inside in bed, right? It's just so frustrating. And it's, how are these teen guns? I mean, we all know how of today's world, anybody sadly can get weapons. And that's the problem. It's Thank you for sharing it. Yeah, I'm gonna share the GoFundMe on, like, even if you just have Instagram, Twitter, even on your Facebooks. I try to post as much as I can on all my socials. I've been kind of slacking lately, but like any missing persons flyers and those kinds of things, even if you guys are just sharing it, you really never know who will see this and know something. They may speak up and say something. And then things like the GoFundMe, you never know who can come across it that might be able to be a blessing to this family. So yes, definitely share it if you guys can. But I think that was it. And like I said, I wanted to kind of touch up on the Maui situation, but I don't know. The biggest question I have is the same questions that we've gone over in Killshot's channel. It's, where are the children? Like, that is my biggest question. None of this makes sense with the Maui fires. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit of this to see what it has to say.
HawaiiRealEstate.org. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe, share, and like the video. But there are many things going on here on Maui that I would like to report to you in no particular order, but I promised you that I would report in every single day. And my goal in this entire outreach effort is, number one, to fill the gap. Our organization, our quickly formed makeshift by our bootstraps.
So I think he is part of our organization trying to get help, but he does speak on some of the facts about. Let me find it.
Is the name of our GoFundMe. Thank you, Ralph, for your suggestion. Sometimes the live streams get cut off and look at it. because it's just like God to put us in touch with an individual that was on the south end of Front Street. So she was trying to escape the fire from Puamana. Puamana is a 20-acre oceanfront townhome community, luxury townhome community on the south end of Lahaina. That's where she has worked for the last 12 years, and with 14 other people that are now unemployed and have no money and need help. But ultimately, she was trying to leave, and by her own eyewitness testimony, she exited Puamana, and to get to the highway to escape Lahaina, you would just take a right, and right there you're at the highway and the south end of Front Street, and you could take a right and you'd be gone. You'd be out of Lahaina. That was blocked. It was literally blocked.
See, and that's the stuff that Killshot was pointing out with the other channel, the Hustle Bitch channel, where he's bringing a lot of truth and facts on this. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why was the water turned off? Why did they send out the wrong alert to people? Why were they barricading people in to keep them, forcing them to stay inside the fire zone? You know, those are the things that just doesn't make sense with any of this.
South end of Lahaina at the time that she was leaving, which I think was 3, she could not just go back. She couldn't leave. So then she was routed up through Lahaina town. And eventually, if you listen to her story, she was able to come back, and she followed a truck that went around the blockade to exit onto the highway and escape. Ultimately,
so she had to end up following another truck in order to save her life. She did what Killshot said in his live last night. The ones who were not obeying those barricades being put up, and they fought to survive. They did what they had to do to get out, because they were being blocked in and being forced back into the direction of the fire.
What I'm piecing together here is the people that had the most success getting out of Lahaina are the ones that were pushing through the blockades, going around the cones, ignoring what the cops were doing. I don't know why they're doing it, but we now have 2 definitive points of evidence. What happened on the north end of Front Street, and now with her testimony, what was happening on the south end of Front Street, that was blockaded too. Please make a notation of this. And do with this information, say a prayer and say, God, what do I do with this information? Help me. If you're an attorney, if you're someone that can help us preserve evidence, is there someone that you know that can come forward and tell their story on this channel? We're interviewing people. We're interviewing survivors. We need to get the message out on what happened that day with this.
See, that's awesome that he is. They are trying to do what they can to speak to locals, to get people to speak their truth. Yes, he's a realtor and he lives there, and he is trying to help the people. I agree. Why the fences? Why the covering up of media sources and internet? Right. Why was FEMA telling people not to take photos of any of the damage or anything? Why? Right, Far? I definitely do not believe that this wildfire a wildfire to begin with. I don't think, I never will. That fire was started some other way, in my opinion. And it's just nothing about this is making any sense. So the new missing persons list in Maui is now at 388. 388? Wait, what? What was the last numbers, Kristen? Because wasn't it at 1,000 and something? I am so confused. I'm gonna store your comments so I can get back to it, because I'm still catching up. Why the fences now? Why keep people out? Why no fly zones now? Right. These are all the questions that we need to be asking and putting it out there and trying to get answers. We need, like, the locals, people that know the truth of what's happening. That's what I've been doing. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what Killshot and Sway's been doing, is just trying to find the truth of what happened. And that this is also what I believe. I don't believe this was accidental. No, Brian, it's okay. He's been behaving. It's fine. Let's see. Right. I don't believe it was natural at all. And right, this is what I'm saying. So they had it at 850. I know we said it was at 1,050 the other night, like what, 2 nights ago? And today's number is 388. Yeah, see, and that's mainstream media. That's the thing. No matter what numbers we're hearing, we honestly do not know the numbers. We really don't. And the video that we were shown the other night on Killshot's channel, I'll drop his link again. If anybody hasn't watched those lives, I suggest that you go and check them out, because the videos that he showed on his channel, I mean, you see the mayor refusing to answer the question about the numbers. Like, they cannot answer that question. Yeah, that's what I tend to. Let me grab that link, Kristen. Thank you. Yeah, it's very weird. Very weird. It doesn't make any sense. Does China want your land and owns Australia? I mean, think about it. Like, they had that agreement that was just signed in January of 2023, that if the land was destroyed by a natural disaster, then they have every right to claim that land. And like we were saying last night, it's like they wiped out an entire generation so that they can claim that land. Why are the billionaires' mansions along the the shore or whatever, why were those homes spared, but everything else was incinerated? Yeah, I'm glad that I found his channel, Mom, first, because yeah, he's gonna try to get locals to tell their stories about what really happened regarding the fires. So FBI is saying 1,000, but Maui officials say 388. So then what are they hiding? I don't know. Like, I am all over the place. Like, so the Maui officials are obviously working with whoever this planned event. This is all just my opinion, my speculation. Go out and do your own research. I mean, like, just search what really happened in Maui and you will discover the unthinkable. There's a lot going on that we don't know. And yeah, no, I'm not doubting you, Kristen. I know that you're putting out what you're hearing, and that's what's sad, is that like that's all we have to go off of. But what are the real numbers? We really do not even know. They talk about they took DNA. I believe that not. Yeah, they did mention that they were trying to get DNA. I don't know. Let me just see what else he has to say.
As many eyewitness accounts as possible. Number two, did you know that our police chief is also our coroner? That's very unusual. If you look up Bill HB 869, was passed this January, Bill HB 869, you can look that up and Google it, Hawaii. It was passed a law that shouldn't be the case, that there should be a separate medical examiner, a physician, someone that's separate from the police chief. That's
okay. Wow. So that is a huge statement. So their police chief was also their coroner. Doesn't that sound familiar? Just saying. But I'm not going to speak on that. But so the police chief is the coroner, but the way he is explaining it is like it was supposed to be like some kind of agreement or whatever, that's not supposed to be anything. It's supposed to be two separate entities. Like, that shouldn't be the same person. Yeah, these days it's like, who do you trust? There are a lot of good out there. There really are. I'm not going to sit here and say everyone is bad in the world and the whole world is evil, but there's a lot of evil and darkness going on around us. And it's up to us to do the research and come to our own conclusions based on what's presented to us, based on what we're hearing and seeing from those that we feel like. We all have a gut instinct. When something is off, you don't ignore that. And like I said, I had heard of the Maui fire, and for me, it was just a it's another fire going on. I mean, like, it happens in California all the time. There was the Canadian fires. So in my mind, it was just another natural. But then I'm like, wait, this is Maui. And then when Killshot brought it all out, I was just like, there's a lot wrong with this. Oh, yeah, there will be a lot of resignations, I'm sure.
That's the law that was passed. So medical examiner, a physician, someone that's separate from the police chief. That's the law that was passed. So why is our police chief also our coroner? He admitted that on a press conference just the other day. Again, this is not tinfoil conspiracy. I'm asking the question for people out there, is it possible to create some kind of a legal injunction or stop or force the mayor to assign a coroner right now, which is what the law says? Why is the police chief also our coroner by his own self-admission? That seems like a very massive conflict of interest, especially in this current situation. Please look that up for me if you don't mind. A couple other things. They have extended the no-fly zone over the burn area. Why are they not allowing independent drone operators to fly over that burn zone? We have put in a request with the FAA. They've come back to us for an exemption saying, we've applied for an exemption. They've come to us asking for a statement of work. Why? We're trying to get citizens press into that area. We should be able to observe what's going on in the burn area right.
Yeah, so there you go. They're not even allowed to fly drones. They're not allowed to get any kind of coverage of the burn area. Why is that? What are they hiding? Seems like there's a whole lot that they're hiding. I don't trust anyone in power. They are not there for me or anyone. That's what I'm saying. There's good and there's bad, but it's to figure out who is really for us and who is not. What are the functions of a coroner? What are the functions of a police chief? Sounds like a conflict of interest to me. Yeah, that happens more than we know. Someone with capabilities needs to record real-time satellite images of the burn zone as they clean it up. Just a thought. That is actually, I wonder if anybody is doing that. But then again, you'd have to trust those people with those capabilities to actually care and to actually see that something's wrong to be able to get that kind of footage. Because that is a really good point. I have a very good nose for when something or someone doesn't smell right. Yeah, just saying, right? Takes me a little bit, but I eventually catch on. And I know this definitely is just like, yeah, which y'all's hiding. Oh, wait. Hold up. Thunder and lightning outside finally off to stand out in the rain. Have you guys been needing rain, Mr. Hat? I know over here it's okay, PJ. Just in general, like speaking of the fires and everything, like me and Blind were talking about this on his channel. It's insane to me with everything going on, how much hotter the earth has become. The waters are the hottest they've ever been. We have El Nino coming in. That's going to be, and Kristen, thank you if you're still here, by the way, for Ryan's channel, Ryan Hall. I was watching several of his videos, and he speaks about how this year's El Nino is going to be different, and they don't have anything to precedent it with because of the record temperatures that we're now experiencing. So they can only kind of give a prediction of how like the winter will be, but it's going to be different because everything has been so much hotter this year. Thank you, PJ, for dropping links. Okay, sorry, I get sidetracked. ADD. Let me get back on track.
Right now, where is the independent oversight for those attorneys that are listening to this? What can we do right now legally as a people to inject ourselves into this process and say, no, wait, we require independent oversight from the citizens? Where's the citizens press? Why is the press not being given access into this area? Why are the citizens not being given access into this area? Why can we not observe from a drone, 500 feet away from the town, up in the air, looking down with a camera, seeing what they're doing?
And this is a local, like, speaking, you know what I mean? Like, he wants answers, and they're not able to get anything. What are they hiding? Okay, no problem. Hey Sway, thank you for dropping in. And yes, that video that I think you guys, yeah, the one y'all were showing with the lasers and like they're messing with all kinds of stuff. It's insane to me. Then and look at the devastation and just the shadiness, like shutting off the water like that. It makes me so angry. It's clearly, in my opinion, something planned. There's too many things that do not make sense in this horrible, tragic fire. Like, it's clear. It's clear if you know. We don't know the numbers. We don't know where the children are. We don't know exactly what started the fire, but we're pretty sure. We have a pretty good idea. And they're hiding a lot, all behind money and land. That's sickening to me.
Just to observe, why is there still a blackout of communication on Maui? Why is there still no internet coverage? Why are the cell phones still not working? You can ask questions like, why did the cell phones not work the morning of? We didn't have cell phone communication the morning of. Why was the power cut out?
So the morning of the fire, they did not have, their phones were not working. I mean, that's suspicious too.
Why is there still no internet coverage? Why are the cell phones still not working? You can ask questions like, why did the cell phones not work the morning of? We didn't.
Yeah. So why were the cell phones not working the morning of the fire? Sure sounds planned to me, in my opinion. That's just what I'm hearing. Leopard, has Maui ever had a fire like this before? So Sway is in here, and Sway probably can answer that better than I can, because like I said, I didn't even realize, the extent of it until Killshot and Sway brought it to their channel. But okay, I think on one of the videos that Killshot showed, there was like a fire, maybe on the main island, the big island, or a different island in Hawaii, and that there was like rapid response. They were able to extinguish the fire like in record time. It was never like this. It was never at this capacity. And yes, MJ, he just said the morning of. Why were the cell phones not working the morning of the fire? Oh, congrats, PJ. You're going to have your own classroom. That's awesome. Are they even on Maui? Yes, this guy is a Hawaii realtor, and he is fighting for answers. He wants to speak to locals, and that's what he was saying, like at the beginning of this video. So we kind of knew, like he was saying, on the north side of, was it Front Street or whatever, that like the barricades and all that. And then this lady had came forward and told him about the barricades on the south side. So like he's trying to get locals to speak out. He's trying to get people to come forward. And he's also reaching out to like attorneys, anybody who can help them figure out like what they can do to find out what happened with this fire, like what really happened, what their rights are. I mean, some of these people in the videos that Killshot showed they don't even know how they're going to sustain life in the next few weeks because there was no food. They're like, they've lost everything. They've lost everything that they own. They have nothing to go back to. Some of these people can't even afford to just fly, even here back to the mainland and start over. You know what I mean? Like, these people lost everything. And then to top it off, like we're saying in Killshot's live, they were handed $700. Like, that is, what are you going to do with $700? Hi, Ruffles. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you here. Which tunnels, Mom, first? I mean, I know about the tunnels like throughout the United States, but I don't know. Are you talking about like pertaining to this? Oh, no problem, Ruffles. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Hope you're having a great Friday. We're just talking about the horrible, horrible things going on with the Maui situation.
cell phone communication the morning of. Why was the power cut out? Why would 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds knock over power lines? That's a sustainable amount of wind that a power line should be able to withstand. So many questions. You guys got to start asking the questions. But from a legal standpoint, what can we do about making sure that the police chief cannot be the coroner?
Okay, and so there again, he's giving us these things that these points that don't make sense, and he's speaking facts because we've had hurricanes, we've even had small thunderstorms with winds 50 to 60 mile an hour, winds, and power lines don't just blow, you know what I mean? Like it's going to take a much stronger wind or like whatever. However, they're claiming that this happened is like, no, nothing is making sense. Hello, Lee. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. All right.
Next, what can we do to get independent oversight? Next, we need Starlink still. We need internet. Who is shipping them? Who is mailing them? We have got 2 that arrived today. Much aloha. We thank you so much for those.
Okay, so he says that he still needs Starlink. So I know that we had talked about Elon Musk was sending over Starlink. So did they receive that yet? Let's see. I'm gonna look it up real quick because I'm curious. Okay, so sorry, y'all, and this is how I do whenever I'm literally deep diving this kind of right now with y'all live. So just bear with me, and I'll go back to the video here in just a minute. But I wanted to see. So it says businesses come together to provide a critical lifeline for West Maui Wi-Fi. So all thanks to the Maui Tech Huey, which flew in a slew of power generators and more than 50 Starlink internet terminals, receiving signals from satellites. So more cell phones, and this was on the 24th. More cell phones and laptops are starting to work again in West Maui thanks to a group of businesses that's installed dozens of communication hotspots throughout the community. The north side of Lahaina, with its boats, coastal highway, and black rocks along the shoreline, looks much like it has for decades. But at Hanakau's Park, there's another sign that the town has changed forever. People in this parking lot on their phones making calls to get their lives back on track. So can you imagine, like, there's so much work to do to get the insurance started and get the lawsuit set up. See, and that's another thing is that the insurance, even the insurance companies sometimes takes forever. It just depends on what you have. But as far as FEMA and all of those people are I will say, and I said it in Blinds Live, we have people here from hurricanes 2 and 3 years ago with still having blue tarps on their roofs because FEMA has yet to pay to fix their homes. So these people waiting for insurance and for FEMA to help, it's not going to come quickly for them. So there are 8 trucks stationed around Lahaina with wires dangling out the back for anyone who needs a free charge. So that's actually a really good thing. And then this group flew in the power generators and 50 Starlink internet terminals. So, okay, I just wanted to find that because that makes me feel a little bit better that these people are eventually going to start talking more. They're going to start talking more. They're getting their signal. They're getting their internet back. They're getting their phones up. Hopefully people will start reaching out and telling the truth of what happened. The alarm wasn't used. Firemen were not there. They were trapped. Right. The alarm that they sent out, actually the alert, it was somebody hitting the wrong button. And I feel like, I mean, I am, because I learned a lot in Killshot and Sway's live. Like, I appreciate them so much for bringing this to light because it needs to be talked about. But yeah, these people received a message, an alert on their phones, on their TVs, on whatever devices that said that they needed to hunker down, shelter in place, because this is not a drill and this was an incoming missile. So these people were literally sitting in their homes expecting a missile to hit the island when actually it was this fire that was coming. And I mean, by the time they realized that it's not a missile, the fire just wiped through. And we still don't know the numbers of people. No matter what, they knew they had weather coming in. Yeah, but I don't believe, like, okay, don't get me wrong, I know that winds and certain things can all happen in a perfect combination when you have a dry area like that's in a drought sort of thing. Yes, can start a fire, but this was different. This was on a much bigger scale. This is, in my opinion, definitely not a natural disaster. And that's all I'll say. And I can't speak for anyone else. I can only say what I believe based on what I've seen and heard. And I do not think it was a natural disaster. But again, that's what I think. Thank you for subbing up to people, Ruffles. And did anyone grab Ruffles' link? Ruffles, do you have a channel? Because we can drop your link as well. From what I have been hearing, they have been able to name a lot of the missing children. Well, that's actually a good thing, PJ. And if you have like links or anything like that that you want to send to me, or even like to Killshot or Sway, that, you know, where you're getting your information, so we can all network together and put that out there, that would be awesome. I know you said Loca My Life is also covering this. So if you want, you can drop her channel as well, so that we can get information about the Maui fire from her, because I know she is going to be covering it. Oh, hey, Michelle. Good to see you. By the way, Michelle, I wanted to say that I have Linen's candle, and the linen scent is amazing, and I'm going to be buying the spray. And also, to everyone in chat, I received PJ's inspired scent in the spray, and it smells amazing. It smells really, really well, really good. And if anyone wants that information, Kristen, you can drop the link to your website. I hadn't added it to Nightbot yet, but yeah, we do have like inspired scents from a couple of us creators, and oh, they are amazing. Okay, so in adults, etc., families are coming forward. It wasn't like a government thing; it was a communication factor. Yeah, and this is where I like, you know, we all have different opinions, and we can agree to disagree. I don't think that I'm saying I don't think the fire starting the way it started, I don't personally believe it was a natural disaster. The heat, the temperature of the fire, for it to do everything it did, and for it to conveniently wipe out that one area that they had been wanting to use for their little cities or whatever it was, the fact that they signed that document or whatever, that thing they passed, the law they passed or whatever in January of 2023, everything is just too conveniently, you know, people are going to say conspiracy theorists, whatever. It's like, I'm just looking at the stuff that's really coming out, and none of it is sitting right with me. Why hold back the water for 5 hours when you have a fire going on like this? Hey, Loca My Life. I'm sorry, I'm behind on comments, so but yeah, if someone wants to drop her channel link, please do so, because I know she is covering this as well. And I agree, Vaughn. Bottom line, yes, that's what it all boils down to. This world sucks, but we can help make it a better place by doing better, being better, speaking up, asking questions, bringing awareness. We can do those things, We're little nothings in the grand scheme of things, but our voices can reach many people. Yes, August 8th was the fire. It is August, right? I was here for the missile test. Is that what you meant? Yeah, how are things out there right now? Have been talking to friends and Maui locals. Oh, that's awesome. Look at my life. Okay, so yeah, if you do a live, based on what these locals are telling and all of these things going on, I'm already subbed to you, so I will be looking for your lives. You just realized you were 20 minutes. Okay, I'm like 20 minutes behind on comments one. I mean, I don't think 20 minutes, but still. Ruffles, it's good to see you and good to see you in here. Yeah, I need to. So the only ones that I haven't gotten was the rest of Michelle's, which is, I don't know what all of them are. So I've only had one of hers, and I haven't gotten to have blinds. So those are the two that are next on my list. And that's talking about our scents, guys. Sorry, I get off track. After talking to locals, I found out where they need donations is food-based organizations like Maui Food Bank, Mercy Chefs, and World Kitchens. Okay, so Lokamai, do you have that information like on your community page, like anywhere that you have it, or even if you want to send it to PJ and like we can share it, we can all post it, we can get that out there, and that way people know what they're donating to, and you being close to the situation where you're talking to these locals and such, that's actually better because we don't want to give it to the wrong, the people who don't have their best intentions at heart. This is the website for all of our inspired scents, and there's like candles, sprays, soaps. But yeah. So Lokamai says also many are now living in, and I don't want to mispronounce it, but I know I will. Is it Kihei? Kihei? I don't know how to say it, but where services are on the other side of the island, so they're having to reorganize things. Yeah, I can imagine that it's just a pure chaotic situation with people having to figure out where they're going to go. Just learning how to start over. Like, I cannot imagine it. It's horrible. Yeah, that's what my soldier's friend that was working, he said it's bad, but people are being identified every day. They're working around the clock, and it's not going to happen overnight. And no, they won't be able to find everyone. Yeah, and I get that. I get that, because of the situation that they're not going to be able to even identify everyone. But there's just a lot of shadiness going on in the entire thing when you look at it as a whole. That's all I'm saying. Interesting look of my life. So the missile bit was actually years ago on a Saturday morning. I'm trying to verify what I'm hearing about another missile alert versus fire. Yeah, that's what we were presented with, was that they received a missile alert versus a fire because somebody hit the wrong button. Like, make that make sense. Have you watched the drone footage of the whole island? No, I have not. Can you send that link to me, Michelle, if you get a chance? And good afternoon to you too. Welcome. Like I said, I'm behind. They turned off the water because of the land's historic land and water laws. But if they've never dealt with anything of this magnitude, like they said, they weren't prepared or whatever, you would think that turning off the water is the last thing you would do. I mean, in my opinion, that's just ridiculous. Why would you turn off the water? Yeah, I have a lot of questions too. Has anybody actually look at my life? If nobody has dropped your link yet, type in the word link drop like I'm typing it in chat right now, and it will drop your channel, and that way people can go and sub up to you and know whenever you're going live to talk about the Maui fire, since you do have, you're getting a lot of info from locals, and that's what we want. We don't want to rely on mainstream media because they lie to us all the time. So people like this guy on this channel, the other channel that Killshot is channel is showing on his, and people like you, I would like to get real information, factual information. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Yeah, just get with PJ Lokamai, and as soon as you have the donation list that you know is legit, we will definitely share them on our community post. I was meaning to share one of them yesterday, and I got to get back with Kristen about that because I just wanted to make sure I was dropping the right one. But yeah. Oh, I did say it right. So it is Kihei. Nice. Oh, PJ, I didn't know you knew her since way back. That's awesome. Yes, thank you for dropping by. Look at my, by the way. I dropped into your live a couple times. I noticed that it's like, I think it was in like kind of the mornings. But yeah, I've been to your channel a couple of times. And yes, we are all in this together, and if we can at least get more locals coming forward, we can at least get some of the truth. We can get more answers. We got to keep asking those questions to get the answers that we need. And yes, as soon as you get the links, Lokamai, we will be looking for them on your community page if you post them there. Or I can even drop my email. You're in touch with PJ, so she can get it to me. But either way, I will drop them on all of my socials. Are they allowing independent search and rescue efforts from private entities? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Yeah, leopard print. So I'd have to go back exactly to the video that Killshot played. But yeah, it was like the water was turned off like for 5 hours. And I'm not exactly sure why. No one on Maui has told me of the missile alert again, only fire alert via phone, not siren. I'm wondering if people are confusing the missile alert from years ago that was someone hitting the wrong button. And that could very well be. So I would have to look at listen to the other guy's video again to get a better understanding, because I was kind of tired and stuff when I watched, but I was listening and it was very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, so it was this video. So this is the video that we watched that talked about that. It's just link drop. Yeah, there you go. For example, someone told me that the Maui Strong Fund was taking 5%, but the truth was HCF normally does, but not for this fund. Okay, yeah, so HCF is the one that I was going to post on my community page, and I wanted to make sure that one was right. So if that is a good one to drop and to post, I will definitely share that one. So Juan is asking, did you receive a fire alert through text? And Michael, I'm not ignoring you at all. I know that like there's a lot of theories out there. A lot of people have their own opinions on what happened. I just don't want to put out like any misinformation, but I mean, I do have questions about a lot of it. I need to do a follow-up live on Maui. I have just been gathering info and actually pictures. My brother is actually flying. Oh, nice. Okay. So you already have a live that you've done on Maui, because I will definitely go and check that out. Bye. See you later. Where are you off to? I don't know about that, but I'm putting it on my question list about the independent search. Yeah, that was a really good question. Oh, that would be awesome to talk about all of this. And then, maybe we can even get like kill shot and stuff, we've all, I mean, I'm just covering it for the first time today, but I think that we all need to be talking about it. As many people that can talk about it need to talk about it, Okay, Vine, have a good afternoon. The missile alert was so stupid and very scary. I thought I was dead. I was running a nursing home at the time, and it happened at around 8:10 on a Saturday. Wow. That has to be scary. And imagine if that did happen this time, and then before they could realize that it's actually not a missile, it's too late. Like the fire had already taken over. But yeah, Michelle Lennon's candle smells amazing. Okay, so the HCF is a great fund from what I'm hearing. They normally take 5%, but not this time. Okay, so let me get that link. Because this is the one I was going to drop, and then I was like, wait a minute, I got to figure out which one is the legit one. So here is the link for the HCF Foundation, which is a way to help. And like I said, even if you cannot help, because many of us cannot afford to, I would like to, but every little bit does help. And even just sharing it on your socials can help. It gets people's attention. What if they've never, heard about what's really going on? Like, you never know who it can reach, and somebody might be able to help in a huge way. So please share. Give my little, okay, I live on Oahu, so no, I did not get the alert, but we had the same red flag warning. Okay. So good afternoon. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. How are you? Welcome. I know. Do not apologize. Please don't apologize. I appreciate it more than you know. I like to be able to engage. I like to be able to hear, especially from people who are closer to, the situations and knows more than what we're seeing or hearing. So I appreciate you being here. Please don't apologize. I appreciate every bit of information that you're sharing with us. Okay, so when you guys, if you are putting the HCF link anywhere on your socials, maybe make sure to add this note to go to the Maui Strong Fund. That is the one that is 100% for the fire. So if you're posting it on your community page, on your Facebook, Instagram, make sure to put this little note in there so that people do donate to the correct place. Okay, I'm going to see what else this guy has to say real quick, and then I'm going to cut it short. I don't want to keep you guys too long.
We need many, many more. They're not going to restore internet because I don't know why, but we cannot communicate. Victims cannot fill out the forms they need to fill out. We need internet. Please hear this cry loud and clear. We also need protective gear. People should not be allowed to go into that burn area. If at some point they are allowed to go in, which they're not allowed to right now, they need to have protective gear. Why are the guardsmen that are down there right now, nice brothers from Oahu, right? They're local boys here serving that are in the guard. Why are they allowed to sit there all day long, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours without any masks on, without any protective gear?
That's a very interesting point too. That's like, that smoke and stuff is very, very dangerous to, they should have protective gear on. No problem, Lokamai. We appreciate it. And like I said, we just want to help as much as we can, as creators, as just people here in chat that you don't even have to be a creator. Um, Everyone has some form of social media, and the more we can spread the word, like I said, I'm sitting here in my home and feel helpless, but if we can help in any way, and that's to get the word out by just sharing a post, it takes a few seconds to do it, we will definitely do that. So I appreciate that, and I will try to get with you or PJ about it. The red flag warning is the one you showed. Yeah, I received the red flag warning in my state. I got another one today, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I see what you're saying, Vaughn. So that just tells you that like the conditions it means that the conditions can turn into a fire, or there's already one going on. I did look at the fire map. Killshot had told me to like bring up this map of like the current fires around the nation and stuff. And in my area, so there's one, I think it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that from me. And there was a fire that was happening that was like 700 acres. So it is very scary to think about, because with the heat the way it is, we're in a drought situation. We haven't had rain in I don't know how long. It's a very scary situation. Yeah, I think so. Bond, that's what she's saying. So many people have been hearing that they received missile alerts instead of the fire alert. So she's trying to confirm it, like with the locals, trying to find out the truth behind that. And that's all I'm looking for too, is to find locals that are speaking out about what alert they actually received. So that way we can put out the correct information. No problem, Lokamai. Thank you for being here. And yeah, like PJ said, clearing some things up. Yeah, this is how I feel too. I want to make sure that what we're putting out is factual. So allegedly, some people are saying that it was a missile alert that they received. So that would be great if we could clear that up. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. So she said, I don't want to 100% say it was false info until I verify. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I appreciate that more than you know. Basically, we were told North Korea had sent a missile our direction, but it was supposed to hit the wrong button. So that was back in 2018. In January. Okay. Yeah. So maybe people are getting that mixed up, and that's something that we do definitely need to clarify. But I mean, that's just like a small part of the puzzle. Like, why were they barricaded in? Why were they being forced to go back into the fire? You know what I mean? Like, why shut the water off? Why did none of those billionaires' homes burn? Why did it conveniently stop? Where Oprah Winfrey has a home and other billionaires' homes, mansions were not touched by that fire. It's just a lot of it is still not making sense to me. Maybe they did receive the correct alert, but to me, that's just a small piece of the puzzle. It is a very important piece, but as a whole, it just something doesn't feel right. So in 2018 is what you're saying, the parents were putting children in sewers when the alert went out. Wow. Oh my God, I can't imagine that kind of panic and that kind of fear. Yeah, so Lokamai, that's what I was saying. The channel that I had dropped a minute ago, the video actually, let me see. I think it was this one. Well, actually, if you're not already subbed to Killshot, I'll drop his link, and you can check out his lives, the last 2 or 3 lives that he's covered Maui fires. There's a video there that speaks about the alert, so maybe you can watch exactly like the context and how he explains it to know like if it's factual or not. So is Hawaii in the clear for the meantime, or are there any advisories on other islands? Can I send you a link, a video of live drone footage? Yeah, no problem. You can do that. When was that, Michelle? When did it? Because like right now, there's like a no fly. Like they're not able to fly over it at all. So she doesn't know of any other alerts on the island. She's checking their advisories. Thank you for subbing up. Now, like I said, we appreciate you being here. I definitely don't want to put out misinformation, but I was, generally speaking, there's just so much. Like, I don't understand. Like, the video we saw of the mayor being questioned, like he literally had no answers. He literally was just like, we don't know, we don't know, we don't know. And I get that. Like, if at first you're not going to know the complete numbers. I know that not everything is an immediate red flag, but it just seems so weird that you don't have all these parents that are screaming, running around looking for their kids. You don't, like, where are all the kids? How do you go from 800 to 1,000 now to 388? Which, by the way, I'll share this link that Kristen sent me. So it says Hawaii officials list 88 people missing after Maui wildfires. FEMA teams with cadaver dogs scour rubble of the town as 46 victims so far identified, of death toll of 115. So the names of 388 people unaccounted for in the wake of the devastating wildfire in Hawaii have been released by officials on the island of Maui. The officials is who I don't trust, but that's just me. The list of known people thought to be missing following the fire has been compiled by the FBI. Okay, that makes me feel better, kind of. Which said on Tuesday there were about 1,000 to 1,100 people on a more tentative list of those unaccounted for. We're releasing this list of names today because we know that it will help with the investigation. We also know that once those names come out, it can and will cause pain for folks whose loved ones are listed. This is not an easy thing to do, but we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make this investigation as complete and thorough as possible. While there has been a fluctuation in the number thought to have died in the fire, the official death toll from the August 8th blaze, which razed most of the historic coastal town of Lahaina, still stands at 115. Okay, yeah, so the death toll is at 115, and the other numbers are for the missing, from what I'm understanding. Maui County said a total of 46 people had been identified, with 7-year-old Tony Takafua, who was identified on Thursday, becoming the first confirmed child victim of the fire. It is feared that many of the victims were children. Many of those identified so far were elderly people. Among them was Joe Schilling, 67, who died after staying to help neighbors in his senior housing complex escape the flames. Okay, let me catch up. Okay, so on the footage you sent me the day after, you will see there's way more houses that made it than we've been told. Wow. One thing that is happening is people were reporting people missing but not sharing ages, so there was no idea how old they were until people started connecting for DNA, etc. Yeah, that does make sense. I can see how it can all get really confusing. Was the school sent home early or was it scheduled day off? I've heard. Yeah, from everything I've read, they closed the schools because of the storm. Yeah, PJ, I was reading that. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it was sent home early, but let me verify that one also, but pretty sure it was early. This is another good question. Is there a vacancy on the other islands? Or have organizers set up any kind of command center on the surrounding islands? I mean, I've heard that FEMA is able to stay in these 5-star hotels while you have trying to find somewhere to live. So that alone makes me upset. Okay, did you text it to me, Michelle? Yep, you did. Okay. I play real quick. Okay. So dedicated to all those who perished, to bestow on them. Oh, it went too fast. Let me pause it. Okay. So this is day after fire footage, 4K drone, Lahaina Maui fire. Longest and most detailed. This was shot on August 10th, 2023, 2 days after the fire. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna mute for the music. Michelle, is there any like narration in here? Can I like mute for the music just because, don't want no copyright strike because of music. Um, and yeah, count the blue ones because if y'all watched Killshots Live last night at the end, he explains the thing with the blue laser and how so many items, blue homes, blue cars, blue umbrellas, somehow didn't burn. Thank you for trying to get information. I appreciate it. Really, really do. Originally, I thought homeless would be brought to Oahu, but they found hotel rooms. Oh, that's good. At least they were able to find hotel rooms for them. Okay, so there is no narration. Good. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's look for the blue things. Let me put up my brightness just a little bit. Okay. I can't see the chat right now because I am looking for the blue things, so I apologize, but I'm really looking. This is horrible, though. This just looks like a war zone. Have I missed anything? Let me remove the comment. Sorry. Right here, some 4 blue. It looks like, is that umbrellas? Yeah, these are like little umbrella things. Like, how did those things not burn? Like, I don't get it. Look at the blue homes. Blue. It's blue here. There's blue over here. So is this where it stopped? Because you can see the green right there. You don't see it? I've seen a lot of the blue. I'll slow it down. I'll go back. Okay, so PJ, right here is like the 4 umbrellas, or 5, however many there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's these. I mean, look at the surrounding of how everything burned, but these somehow did not burn. And then here you have the blue home. Sorry, I minimized so I can zoom in. But you have this blue home here. And yes, I get that the other structures are standing around it, but it's just weird. Oh, you're fine, PJ. It's just kind of weird, that's all. Dang, and then like none of this was, I mean, on the right side right here, all of this looks like perfect. And then you have an area here. So like it's like, look at this, how it does this. It goes right here and it goes into the, all of this was burned. You have this blue house here. None of these were damaged at all. No, there's no sound. Like it's music, and I don't want to get a copyright for the music, but right, Bind. I know. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna let this play. Okay, I'm back. Look how much destruction. Like there's nothing left there. That I'm sorry. It doesn't. It seems like something that was really, really, really hot that started this fire. I don't think it was a natural disaster. Like I don't understand. But this is a very long video. Let's see. Michelle, is it okay if I drop this video for others to watch if they're interested? Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like just the millionaires' homes. Oh, what timestamp is the church at, Michelle? One thing that has been seen heavily among my friends is the type of construction of the houses local style houses. Even my own is full wood. Also, many had gas and generators due to historical power issues. Wow. Yeah, this whole thing is crazy. You watched this the other night. Even my brother-in-law told me yesterday, if the hurricane hits, just make sure you're wearing blue. Right? Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Shoot, I'm about to paint my house blue. And it's not funny. It's just crazy. All right, Michelle, let me know if you see the part you're talking about with the church. But look at this, it's just ashes. Everything is in. Look, there's a blue house right there that we just went over, and that was still standing. Didn't burn at all. The millionaire homes are built to a different standard. There's also one home called the Miracle Home. Everything is burnt except that one home. The difference with that home is it was renovated. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. They're built better, but I mean, what are the odds that Oprah Winfrey was looking to buy land and they wouldn't sell to her, and then her home is not touched, and there's just so many little things. Those heavenly stars create their own weather. Yeah, or they're manipulating the weather. I don't know, like 100%. Okay, so you have to go watch that video, Bond, that I was telling you about, the end of Killshots Live, where he explains the laser thing. It's not like, and it's like backed by science. So you have to go and watch that part of it to understand the situation with Blue. Okay, I'll drop the link. Okay, so here's the link to this video if anyone wants to watch it and really deep dive it. I have another really good article, but I've been on here for so long, so I'll just cover this one on the next one. But yeah, definitely look into it, do your own research, watch a couple of videos, look for locals videos, look for Local My Life's notifications when she covers this, and she is trying to reach out to locals to get the truth of certain things. You know, like, we can't believe everything we see in mainstream media, that's for sure. So that would be interesting, Local My. So PJ, if you do get this link, you can send it to me and I would like to check it out. And or maybe she can send it to you now and y'all can drop it in the chat. That'd be awesome. Hey, Sleuth Mom. That would be awesome to go over. Is this another local Lokamai, or like someone close that is actually getting facts and truth? Arrest. Who was saying something about arrest? Michelle said, heck no, I don't believe the blue thing. There's not enough blue for me to believe that theory, but that's me. Yeah, and everybody has their own opinions and all that stuff. Like, that's what's great, is that you're able to form your own opinion and we can discuss it in a healthy discussion, like not argue about it and agree to disagree kind of thing, because at the end of the day, we're going to make our own conclusions with what's going on. I've just been doing a lot more research, and I've watched a couple of videos like of locals on different platforms. So, but that's the thing, Michelle, is that they were saying that the fire, you have to watch that video of kill shots. Like it's something like with the temperatures. It it does it like for the asphalt not to melt. If it only takes, I think it was like 700 and something degrees or whatever to melt the asphalt, yet the asphalt didn't. And like, so it's just weird. Like in some places, it seemed like the fire was burning extremely hot, and then I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a natural disaster to me. It doesn't seem like a wildfire that started this. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I knew you would understand. That's why I said to go watch it, because it's like when they present it to you on that video, it's like backed by science, and then it explains also like how they can like manipulate the weather and stuff. I'm glad you're doing good, Sleuth Mom. Okay, so that video, that person you were talking, the Rory, he's an engineer or something, but everything he says is really right on for explaining all the ins and outs, including Hawaiian sovereignty. Okay, yeah, definitely. So, PJ, can you send me that link when you get it, please? Because I would like to check it out. He goes into the reflectivity, etc. Just a really smart video. Nice. Oh, no problem, MJ. Thank you for being here. And yes, that is why I do like to talk about it and bring it out. And I'm thankful that, we have people that can speak about the truth. There are there's many out there. If you do a lot of searching, there's a lot of people speaking on things that they do know. And like I said, I still just have questions about why the decision was made to shut the water off, why the barricades for these people to be forced back to go into the fire. The only people that survived were the ones who disobeyed the law and got through the barricades somehow so they could survive and do what they had to do for their families. Like, why were they shutting people in? None of that makes sense to me. I believe in manipulating weather, but not too sure about this being it. I thought maybe at the beginning, but as I questioned locals and saw more, it made sense. But we always need a clear mind. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't think in this instance they manipulated the weather. I was just saying the video that Killshot showed us. So there was like local footage of what looked to be a laser out in the water or whatever, and then they go on to explain behind like how the laser could have started the fire, and then the history and the science behind the laser and the things with the blue stuff. And yes, a lot of it people are saying it's conspiracies and all that, but at the end of the day, we just have to make up our own minds based on what we believe and what our heart tells us, and what facts are presented to us. So Mom, that's what the numbers are all over the place. Every day it seems to be changing. So I think it'll be a while before we have an actual number that is accurate. Oh, sorry, I was catching up. I think people try to make sense of things and then come up with things and go for it. Well, I mean, the video that we were watching, honestly, he was just speaking on what he knows. It was like not just making things up, just speaking on what he knew. You know what I mean? Like, you have to just watch the whole thing, without like the commentating and all that if you want, just to get a better insight and make up your own conclusion about some of the things. And I think, like I said, I think everyone needs to do that. in order to form our own opinions, you want it to be an informed opinion based on your own research and things that you know that you can connect and that makes sense to you. But there's a lot that just doesn't make sense, at least for me. But let's see. I think they very well could have done all the laser stuff. I personally just think the whole blue thing is ridiculous. Right, and that's what I'm saying. The blue thing might just be like a whole rabbit hole people are jumping down, but the footage of what looked to be a laser possibly starting the fire, I mean, look at the temperatures that the fire reached. That to me is not a ordinary wildfire. Something much hotter started that fire, in my opinion. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. It's been almost 2 hours, but I appreciate all of you that have come in. I really didn't think I would have, a, like anybody really come in at this time because I usually go live later, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you to my mods. You are amazing. Thank you to those who have dropped your links. And again, if you haven't typed in link drop, if you're a creator, do that before I end my live. And that way we can get you, we can all sub up to you and follow you. And Lokamai, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it so much. And we'll be looking forward to your live. Thank you for all that you're doing. I know that this is very close and dear to you, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you, MJ. All right. Well, until next time, I will go ahead and say for you all to have a great Friday evening. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I will see you somewhere on the YouTube streets, I'm sure. But y'all have a nice evening. Love you all. See you later. So I'm going